Hello everyone. How you guys doing today? I wanted to talk to you guys about the human eye. Yes, the human eye. The human eye is very unique. Physically, is one of the most appealing things in science. Physically, it's amazing and it can do many things. Like, the way biologists and scientists understand the human eye, the retina, the cones and rods, and it gives us the ability to be able to see things and just the way that it operates, period. When there's light, too much light going into the eye, the iris automatically on its own restricts to let less light going into the eye, less strain on the eye, the constant blinking. And most of our eyes are controlled by the autonomic nervous system, the autonomic nervous system. And of course, us looking around, that's also our voluntary muscles and our voluntary movements, the fact that we can move our eye and stuff like that. But the fact that the eyes lets us see and perceive things, that's what makes it so unique physically. But also in other cultures, the human eye is considered the gateways to the soul. And when you look at it from a spiritual sense and everything, we have three eyes. We also have a third eye, which is our spiritual eye, which allows our physical eye to be able to perceive things and see things and activate other senses other than our five natural senses, because we have many more. We have more than five senses. And when our spiritual eye is open, or our wisdom eye or our third eye is open, we're able to see and understand things as well as science a lot better than a person who would have just completely closed eyes. And one thing I want to add out is because, like, a lot of people feel that because they can't see or physically prove certain things, it doesn't exist or it's not true. In reality, though, even though the human eye is very interesting and biologists have come to understand it really well as far as the nervous system and how the eye works and everything, the eye is very fragile, weak, easy to manipulate, and it has a lot of imperfections that can be exploited, which is why optical illusions exist. Optical illusions exploit the eye's weaknesses, and it tricks the eye into seeing things that's not there, or to not see things that are there. So just because we can't see things doesn't mean that it can't be seen. And just because we're seeing something doesn't mean it's always what we're looking at. So with that being said, when it comes to paranormal things, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it can't be seen. If you have that extra sense and your other senses activated, you can combine senses and you can feel things. Yet some people can actually see things that other people who just all they do is focus on science or the scientific aspect of life or the physical aspect of life, and they don't really pay attention to the other aspects of life. And it's really good to be well balanced, to understand and acknowledge that science is, of course it's real and it explains in depth the physical aspect of life, the realm that we can see, and but it doesn't really explain the spiritual realm, and it really doesn't explain other stuff like paranormal things. And with the paranormal things, that's when you need that third eye in order to understand and see that. And when you combine the knowledge that you have of the physical world with the spiritual knowledge that you have from your wisdom eye, you will be able to understand and see things a lot more clearly than a person who is only one way and only the other way, who only understands science. Anything over science is not true, not real. Oh, if it can't be proven, it's not true. And that's not true, because as I said, things aren't always what they seem, especially with so many weaknesses that can be infiltrated in the human genealogy and biology and all of that. So yes, Yes, so with that being said, having a balance of both knowledge of science and just knowing science, like, your biologies, knowing your psychologies, physics, and all of that stuff, just knowing how things work and everything, and then also having a lot of spiritual knowledge as well, opening up that third eye and letting more of your senses awaken, then you will be able to understand things a lot more better than you did before. And yeah, so just being able to see things and just understand and have that discernment, because that's another thing that the our third eye allows our physical eyes to do. It aids, our third eye is like an aid to the physical eyes, and when the third eye is closed, you don't have that aid. You just, your eyes are, all you see is what you see in front of you. You don't see anything other than that. And a lot of times science can hinder people or prevent people from opening or their third eye or activating it, because they don't want to look at things beyond science, and anything beyond science they can't comprehend because of the simple fact that their third eye isn't open. Plus they don't believe it because they can't see it, and that right there is an optical illusion in itself. So it's always good to be balanced and acknowledge the fact, because a lot of people who believe in spirituality, there's a reason why they believe it. They have their other senses open, and they can see, they can feel things better, discern things better. They just know things, like witches or people who are really deep into their spirituality. And I won't name any like religions or anything, because it's all about the individual person when it comes down to it. Because a person can be, I don't know, a Buddhist, but they can still have their third eye open. A person can be a Christian and still have their third eye closed. So it really doesn't matter. Religion doesn't matter. It's all about the individual person and what they choose to allow themselves to see, and how they choose to move forward in life. Yes, I've taken a lot of science classes, and I do understand the scientific aspect of the physical world, but I also understand, even though I don't understand it 100%, and I don't know 100% everything in science either, but just having the knowledge that I do know and being able to see things both ways really helps. And it really helps with the whole weakness in the eye that's always constantly being manipulated. And yes, it just allows you to be able to see things clearly. When you have that third eye open, you're not necessarily rejecting science. You're just seeing things a lot more deeper than just one way. And yeah, so with that being said, allow your third eye to be the aid to your natural eyes, because once again, you have to acknowledge that there are things that exist beyond our, what we can see physically, and what our five physical senses can actually, see. The five senses only allow us to comprehend and perceive things physically. But once you open up that third eye, you will be able to also discern other things a lot better, and see other things that may be possibly going on with something or with a situation. It allows you to be able to see things a bit deeper. So work on that third eye, guys. Have a nice day, and I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Bye.